seconds and bring in Steve Christie.
That's the shovel pass again. It's the third time they've run it. It's not looked good in any one of the 3 attempts, and it's an odd place to call a shovel pass.
With 2 seconds left, Buffalo spending its last time out, and Christie in to try to give the Bills a touchdown lead at the break. Christie, who set a Super Bowl record with his 54-yarder in the first quarter. Christie, who played for Tampa and was a Plan B surprise. The Buccaneers thought they had him well satisfied, but Buffalo made the move, and he replaced Scott Norwood. And Norwood, who will forever live in infamy after that miss against the Giants from 47 wide right.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in Buffalo will ever forgive him for that. Ever.
Meanwhile, Christie, cool as ice, and that's where he spent a lot of his time playing soccer and hockey. In fact, Darryl Sittler of the Maple Leafs and Warren Moon as a CFL quarterback in Edmonton were his idols. A 28-yard attempt. So the Canadian kickers have been perfect. The end of the half, and a mild surprise at the intermission. The underdog Bills leading the defending champion Dallas Cowboys.
Testing 1 2 3.
Well, I'm rejoined again by Bob Golic and Mike Sharrard. The second half about to get underway. In fact, it is underway, so we'll hand you back to the NBC commentators.
Johnson's Cowboys trailed at halftime to Atlanta without a touchdown and lost, and they trailed to these Buffalo Bills at halftime in Dallas early in the season, game 2, and were beaten in that one. Here are the first half official statistics. Total yards, Buffalo with a slight edge, and we might also throw in an individual statistic. In total yards passing and running, pass receiving and running, Thurman Thomas had 20 more yards than Emmitt Smith, 78 to 58. And an injured Cowboys, Kevin Smith, and that could be a very serious blow to Dallas's secondary. He is regarded, although the youngest man back there at 23, as their best cover man. So while we have a moment, Bob Trumpy, you talked before the game about how to defense Dallas, that to take the outside and the deep stuff away, make them play in the center of the field. That's what's happened.
Absolutely. And Buffalo's defense has slowed Dallas down. They have gotten some positive yardage from Emmitt Smith. They've gotten some positive yardage from Michael Irvin on the in routes. But you're right, they've not allowed the big knockout blow. Cornelius Bennett led the Buffalo Bills in tackles in the first half. That move of him to inside linebacker has put him more involved in both the run game and also the pass protection game.
You might also add that you Buffalo fans know you didn't see that shovel pass much all season long. That's something put in for this game, although it seems to have kind of worn out its welcome.
Yes.
But it was effective a couple of times.
But I think we know why they didn't have it in for the regular season. It looks pretty ragged.
Kevin Smith looks to be not seriously injured. He's replaced by Dave Thomas at that left corner. Let's see if Jim Kelly goes after him. It'll be a first down at the Bills 28.
Look at the numbers in the first half, and I think the one thing we now have to worry about if you're a Dallas fan is how much of this hurry-up offense wore down the Dallas defense, because there was that one very long drive for Buffalo. And this hurry-up offense, it doesn't scare opponents anymore, but it will wear them out.
Kelly comes out with his 3 wide receiver set and gives to Thurman Thomas, and Thomas straight ahead to the 34-yard line. A good pickup on first down. Casillas and others on the tackle.
When you lead, as Buffalo does, you can go to your hammer. And in the last couple of 3 weeks, there's been a resurgence in the running game of Buffalo, and it is Thurman Thomas.
Good news for Dallas. Kevin Smith is back in the game. They throw to this side to Brooks. Brooks breaks the tackle and has a first down at the 43-yard line. James Washington with a stop. Kevin Smith unable to bring down Brooks on the initial hit.
Well, this answers our question. This is certainly conservative. Just a hitch pattern run by Brooks. Smith tried to close as quickly as he could, but Washington has to assist on the tackle.
Well, Kelly continues to throw underneath. Thomas hit as he takes a hand off, fumbles the ball, and here comes the Cowboys. It's Thomas Everett with one man to beat Fina, and now he's on his way. Don Beebe, the lone Bills, touchdown, Dallas. A flag is down at the 9-yard line. Well, hold on, let's see if this will negate the touchdown. 46 yards on the return of the fumble, and Leon Lett, making amends, was the man who ripped the ball loose from Thurman Thomas. And now Bob McElwee with the official announcement.
Personal foul, number 51, on the intercepting team after the score. The touchdown is good. The 15 yards will be assessed on the kickoff.
Leon Lett is the one who stripped the ball away, Dick. He got his arm in there. The second fumble now for Thurman Thomas on the afternoon. And the big cat gets his arm in there and strips it away from Thurman Thomas.
So the Cowboys, with less than a minute gone in the second half, are positioned for the point that would tie it up. A new game at 13, and Leon Lett knocks it loose from Thurman Thomas for the fumble return. A flag is down. Copeland settles at the 15. 30, 35, and protecting the ball to the 37-yard line. Let's go back to the big Dallas play.
Well, we've talked so much about Leon Lett, and it's been nothing but negative, but there he is right there. He's going to beat Kent Hull around the block and strip the ball away from Thurman Thomas. Then Washington picks it up again from behind the offense. Great job, Leon Lett. Super strength to beat Kent Hull, and then Washington with the big return. And we said Dallas has a lot of weapons. We just didn't include their defense.
James Washington, who played at UCLA with Troy Aikman and Ken Norton and Thurman Thomas. 2 fumbles have led to 10 points. A field goal and now the touchdown, and he's unhappy. Thomas gets it back. And only a couple of yards to the 39. After the play, Jim Kelly realizing he's got to keep Thomas's mood positive, and Thurman not very receptive.
Thurman Thomas, he does have that problem. He will turn on himself. He'll turn on his teammates. But you're right, Dick. He's got to be a big factor in the rest of this football game.
And 2nd down and 7. Kelly incomplete and almost intercepted. Incomplete is the call, although Larry Brown thought he might have one. Andre Reed was the receiver. Leon led a year ago. Well, no, this is the fumble by Thomas just at the end of the first half. And that one led to a touchdown and a 28-10 Dallas lead, and the game was over. But now it's just tied. But Thomas, that has to ring up some memories that aren't very pleasant. 3rd down. And Kelly in trouble, and Jeff Coat brings him down. The first sack of the game for Dallas. Jimmy Jones was there as well.
That was an all-out rush by the Dallas Cowboys, and they only needed 4 of them. Jeff Coat on one side. Jumps over the block by Fina. 94 is there. 97 is it. 3 of the 4 defensive linemen on Kelly for that sack.
So the Cowboys defense has responded to the charge of Jimmy Johnson. A fumble return for a touchdown, and now they snuff Buffalo in the next possession. Moore's kick high and short. Fair catch. Kevin Williams at his own 36-yard line. 13-14 remaining in the 3rd. Dallas and Buffalo even. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy. Thurman Thomas trying to wipe away and having difficulty assimilating his 2 errors that have cost Buffalo 10 points. He's also scored a Buffalo touchdown. So Troy Aikman, first time he gets the ball, The defense has already given him a score and a tie game. He starts from the Dallas 36, and here comes Emmett, ripping through across the 45, 46, 10 yards in the play. Patton with a tackle.
This is a dangerous drive for the Buffalo Bills. If Dallas, with that defensive score, it picks up their spirits, it transfers over to the offense, they're able to control the line of scrimmage. This is a defending Super Bowl champion. They know how to take advantage of opportunity.
10 points off 2 fumbles by Thomas. They spot it at the 45, 2nd and 1, and it's Smith again. Patton and Bruce Smith around his ankles. First down, Dallas. Emmitt Smith wearing number 22, Bob Hayes. Great speedy wide receiver, the Cowboys, his number. His father played semi-pro football at the age of 43. Emmitt Sr. was a defensive back, and Emmitt recalls how his daddy could hit.
And that's all he would do is hit.
And now it's Junior's turn, and he's like a different back in the second half. There's carrying tacklers for 8 more. Jeff Wright finally gets him down.
The team that adjusts the best at the halftime generally comes out the winner. To this point, Dallas had made the adjustment. Watch the pull by Newton, 61, and also the lead by Daryl Johnston, 48. Emmitt Smith up inside both of them. And Dallas now in a position to give it to their greatest weapon, Emmitt Smith.
Only 24 years old and 3 times the rushing champion. He's carried 9, 3, and 9 yards on this drive. Then he gets it again. Breaks a tackle. First down. He's to the Buffalo 36-yard line. 4 carries for Emmitt Smith, and Dallas has gone from their own 36-yard line to the Buffalo 36.
Watch one of the great attributes of Emmitt Smith, breaking tackles. That's Bruce Smith. That's no kid out there. Bruce Smith, one of the strongest players in the NFL. Emmitt Smith has always had that ability to protect one side from the tackler and run with the ball on the other side.
Aikman knows the defense zeroing in on Smith. Let's see if he goes to something big on the air. No, stay with 22. Look at the hole. First down all the way to the 23-yard line with Darryl Talley getting him down.
Well, Dick, Dallas has found something here. Going to the guys up front. The French fry king, Nate Newton, is going to lead up through here. And at 330 pounds, you're definitely going to see a big hole when Newton gets up through there. He gets an excellent block on the linebacker, and again, Emmitt Smith breaks an arm tackle. This offensive line of Dallas now slowly taking hold.
82 yards now for Emmitt Smith. Smith again. Inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Darryl Talley went out holding his shoulder after the tackle of Smith on the previous play.
See if we can pick up the action. He makes the tackle on Emmitt Smith. Looked like he might have jammed his shoulder when he hit Emmitt Smith, but you know he's got to be hurt. Darryl Talley does not come out of many football games.
It's tied at 13, and the Cowboys have taken this ball down field like a different team than the one we saw in the first half. Richard Harvey has replaced Darryl Talley. Harvey, who played sparingly, he's from Tulane. 2nd and 6 for Aikman. Play action. Smith is after him. It's a screen complete to Daryl Johnston. And the Moose has dropped at the 16-yard line as Mike Lodish makes a good tackle for Buffalo.
Well disguised by the Dallas Cowboys. The fake to Lincoln Coleman, number 44. And Lodish is almost there to make the interception, but the linebackers, well, they make the tackle. Bruce Smith hits Troy Aikman, and it comes up with some injury. Bruce Smith is coming off to the sideline.
His right hand he's favoring.
Like he may have hit his crazy bone or something on the AstroTurf, but he has no feeling in his hand.
Big play. 3rd down and 3 just outside the Buffalo 15.
So Talley is out. No, Talley is back in the ball game, but Bruce Smith is now out.
Oliver Barnett replacing Smith. Barnett, who came to the Bills from Atlanta this year. Emmitt breaks a tackle. 10, 5, touchdown! valuable player this year, goes downfield, defying the defense with 61 yards on that drive to put him over 100 in the game, 102 total.
He breaks the tackle of Jeff Wright, number 91. How many broken tackles did we see Emmitt Smith make on that drive alone, Dick? Just that drive. He broke a tackle by Bruce Smith. He broke a tackle by Jeff Wright. And we've got an injured Bill down on the field.
Phil Hansen, the starting tackle. And Smith, his emotions driving him even after the touchdown.
You know, and that's unusual for Emmitt Smith. Normally very controlled. There's Emmitt, 22 and 88. Michael Irvin, they love him.
And meanwhile, Hansen being attended to for Buffalo. So the Dallas Cowboys down 13-6 at halftime. In a little over 6 minutes of this second half have scored 2 touchdowns, one on defense and one very impressive drive on offense. And Troy Aikman, you don't have to be a genius to figure out 22, do you? Just give it to 22, and that's what he did the whole drive.
And Norv Turner, the offensive coordinator, knows when he's got a good thing. Again, we see the pull by Nate Newton, and Emmitt Smith has the luxury of picking just about any spot he wants to run. He breaks the tackle of Jeff Wright, cuts up inside. What a player. He is just beautiful. In that drive, I think Dallas ran that little trap, that little lead by Nate Newton, that short pull at least 3 times, maybe 4.
Well, Emmitt Smith, who grew up a Cowboy fan, he told us, and idolized Tony Dorsett. And congratulations to Tony Dorsett into the Hall of Fame announced yesterday. In fact, it was a big day for Cowboy stars for Canton yesterday.
So Dallas leading 19-13, about to be 20-13 if they don't miss the extra point. And Bob, the momentum changing a bit in this game.
Dramatically. I mean, it's amazing that you look at one play and all of a sudden it's just, you don't expect it to change that quickly. Emmitt, who didn't have a strong first half, all of a sudden is a whole new guy.
And Murray hits it. It's 20-13 Dallas. 14 quick points by the Cowboys early in this second half. They're trying everything they can to get Thurman Thomas up, forget about his own mistakes. And for Buffalo, this would seem to be the acid test of their character in this game. They've fallen behind quickly after enjoying a halftime lead, and as Ahmad Rashad indicated from his experiences with the Minnesota Vikings, when you don't win these games, and that is your history, it doesn't take a lot for the players to say, hey, we just can't do it. It's just not meant to be. And this possession for Kelly and Thurman Thomas, it would seem, if they don't come out with something positive, if they go 3 and out, we may have just seen the end of the game.
Yeah, you're right, Dick. The last drive by Dallas, that was the dangerous drive for the defense to face. I agree with you. This is now the critical drive for the offense to face.
Beebe and Copeland are deep. Someone for Buffalo needs to come up with a big play in this turn. Murray kicks it the other way toward Beebe. First time. And he puts a spot on the sidelines. A nifty piece of running by Beebe, and he gets it out to the 36-yard line. A good start for Buffalo. Thomas Everett makes the tackle. So it's a great Super Bowl halftime show, and for you fans of country music, NBC's got a super country special.
Well, yes, it's, you know, the only thing that we really looked that was working well for the Bills was Jim Kelly. He's going to one that's going to have to bring him back right now.
Kelly, oh my, Kenneth Davis doesn't have a chance. Tony Tolbert played it perfectly on the defensive wing.
That play will not work against this defense. I don't care what quarter it's in. This is a recognition defense. This is a separate defense from blockers. You see Tony Casillas is right in his face, and Tolbert right there to make the tackle.
So Thurman Thomas, whether it's the cramps or whether the two fumbles have discouraged Marv Levy, he's going with Kenneth Davis on this trip. 2nd and 18. Davis gets a little hole and out to the 36-yard line. Tolbert gets the tackle again.
Dick, frankly, I don't think Marv Levy has any choice but to go with Kenneth Davis here. I mean, if they can hang on to the football, Buffalo can hang on to the football, even though Thurman is putting his helmet on. I know they share duty, but Kenneth Davis has not fumbled the ball twice in this game.
3rd down and 11. Davis again, and Davis is close to a first down at the 47. It'll depend on the spot. It's going to be very close. James Washington made the tackle, and that was a quick hitter by Buffalo.
Tip of the cap to the center, Kent Hall. He's the one that's got to angle the snap just a little bit, surprise the Dallas defense. And I don't think there's any choice here for Buffalo. I mean, if they don't make it here, this is absolutely a 4th and go for it situation.
Well, there's 7:16 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and a man at 65, Marv Levy, might be a bit more conservative than you.
But I think he needs to put some emotion.
Well, they got it anyway. Tickles the yardstick. Jimmy Johnson. Oh, I wish we could have had a microphone in that. Well, maybe we couldn't have shared it with all of you, but I bet the walls, that paint was blistering after Johnson got through at halftime, and his team has responded. Buffalo's turn now. Play action to Davis. Kelly goes long, no one there. Beatty was in the area, but pulled up short, and Kelly was thinking long.
There was good protection for Jim Kelly. The 4-man rush. I think Dallas is all, looks like they're kind of slowing down on the pass rush, just staying on the line of scrimmage.
Second and 10 for Kelly. Again, good protection to the sidelines. Fine catch. Near sidelines to Bill Brooks. Brooks, who has those dislocated pinky fingers that almost serve as hooks when he makes catches.
This is an excellent pattern run by Bill Brooks on Smith. Gets that separation. Of course, Smith had that injury on the kickoff return, but he sure looks, talks about he looks like a catcher, doesn't he? An old baseball catcher.
But when he cups those two hands, those little fingers kind of serve as outside hooks. Hooks for Brooks. Came from Indianapolis. Caught 411 passes with the Colts. He's from Boston University, and that's close to another first down.
Yeah, it said that last year he watched the Super Bowl at home with his wife in Indianapolis, and he said, frankly, I wasn't that interested. He certainly is now.
First down at the Dallas 43. Jimmy Johnson knows that he was in a position for the kill if his defense could have forced Buffalo 3 and out. But the Bills have answered and move into Dallas territory with a first down at the 43.
This team just can't hang on to the football. If they hang on to the football, look at the position they're in, Dick.
Beebe left, Reed in the slot, Brooks to the right. Kenneth Davis in the backfield with Kelly. It's Davis. Oh, that won't work. You don't reverse your field against this speedy defense of the Cowboys. They'll run you down. Their linemen are possessive of the speed of running backs, and Tolbert and Casillas, as Davis tried to make a little too much out of that play. He had some yardage, and with a reverse loses 3. Thurman Thomas, a spectator.
The trainers were on the sideline working on his calves. They were cramped up, so he'll just be getting a little rest here.
Yeah, this isn't necessarily punishment. Reed, well covered by Darren Woodson. 3rd down and long for Kelly.
And he's going to face 7 defensive backs now. And the pass rush specialists of the Dallas Cowboys, including Jeff Coat and also Leon Lett. There's the 2 of them.
Yeah, they go with 4 defensive linemen and 7 backs. No linebackers here. Bill Bates plays a linebacker. Kelly to Davis, incomplete. Bill Bates had him covered well, and the Bills' drive is stopped. Chris Moore comes in.
Underthrown by Jim Kelly. He was pressured somewhat. And Bill Bates with excellent coverage on Davis. He was flustered a little bit here again from the four-man rush. Haley comes from one side. It's Jones, 97, right in his face. Makes Jim Kelly throw that thing right down at Kenneth Davis's knees.
Kevin Williams back at the 10. Remember, 2 punt returns for touchdowns during the season. Moore very high, but also very short. Williams says, get away from it. And it takes a Dallas bounce out of bounds. Not a good kick by Moore. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line, a 22-yard punt. Meanwhile, the All-Stars in the NFL on display here in Super Bowl 28 in the Georgia Dome. The Dallas Cowboys with 2 touchdowns here in the third quarter to take the lead, and they start from their 23. Galbraith, the tight end, in motion. Emmitt Smith. And they run to Drew Smith's side of the field and are not so successful. He stopped at the 24. Keith Gogenius from Penn State, playing for Mark Maddox, makes the stop. Smith gets a couple more. He's over the 100-yard mark in this game and is averaging almost 96 career postseason. When you think about the MVP in this game, the Rozelle Award, Pete Rozelle, for the first time, the former commissioner, not watching the game in attendance. He and his wife Carrie watching out in Rancho Santa Fe, California. Emmitt Smith going after the hardware. Aikman on 2nd and long. Irvin wide open. It took forever for the defense to close, and Nate Odoms finally gets there at the 38. First down. 14 on the play to Irvin.
Buffalo now trying to put some pressure on Troy Aikman. When they do that, of course, they go back to the away from the double zone, the 2-deep zone that we're talking about, and Troy Aikman finds Michael Irvin open out there, out in the deep out. Odoms with good coverage, but you need great coverage against this offense.
Fake to Smith, underneath to Novacek, the tight end, chopped down by Darryl Talley at the 44.
Now see what that last drive did for Dallas right now is they ran Emmitt Smith so well that now they can go with the play action. And on that particular play, you can see the linebackers right at the line of scrimmage. Novacek catches the ball up underneath Darryl Talley, almost breaks the tackle, but there's so many ways this Dallas offense can affect the defense, and just all that running by Emmitt Smith has now really kept the linebackers a lot closer to the line of scrimmage.
Emmitt runs into his own man and dropped for a loss. Gogenius.
This is the first time they've stopped this power play. Again, they tried double team, and here's Cornelius Bennett, who blows the play up. But in the last drive, they did an excellent job. Bennett gets penetration against Novacek and is able to make the tackle in the backfield.
3rd down and 8. In his second year, Gogenius went to high school for Virginia Beach with Matt Darby, a defensive safety for Buffalo. Kevin Williams is in. They like to run the reverse with him, although he's the man in motion here. Aikman underneath, incomplete. Emmitt Smith covered by Darryl Talley, and Dallas will have to punt. That's a plus for the Buffalo morale.
No question about it, Dick. This was a huge key for Buffalo to stay in this football game.
John Chet, who a year ago was selling copiers. In fact, in February of last year, when Dallas called, and he won the punting job. Beat out Mike Saxon, who had been the Cowboy kicker for 8 years. Copeland again lets the ball bounce, and it's Dallas bounce to the 15, covered there by Kenneth Gant. 44-yard punt. Timeout with 3:05 left in the third.
Touchdown in it with 3:05 left in the third quarter. Buffalo are starting out from their own 16.
Kelly and Buffalo trailing 20-13 late in the third quarter. Screen to Davis, and he is drilled for a 4-yard loss by Kenneth Gant, the man who likes to do the shark dance. Woodson, rather. Darren Woodson, 28.
Those short screens against this defense have no place in this game. These guys are quick. They're well coached by Butch Davis. Look, an offensive lineman can't even lay a glove on Woodson before he makes the tackle.
Allow progress to the 12 for a 3-yard loss. Over the middle to Don Beebe, breaks a couple of tackles out to the 23-yard line. Thomas Everett and Ken Norton on the stop, 11 on the play. And Thurman Thomas, the word is it's cramps. He's not being punished for the fumbles, but cramps has kept him on the sidelines, although looks like he's getting serious again as he straps on the helmet. Fumble by Davis as he had trouble with the direct snap, but he recovered the ball. And that means Buffalo will have to punt. So again, the mistakes falling in the column of the Buffalo Bills. They made 9 of them, 9 turnovers last year in that horrendous defeat in Pasadena.
Well, the last one that worked, Davis was standing on the right side of Jim Kelly. This one, the snap is a little high. And Davis has got to not only concentrate on the football, but also on the blocking.
Chris Moore, who's had some short kicks, has the full field now to try to lay into a long one. And does hit a good one. Williams back at the 27-yard line. Oh, what a block, and then Williams ripped down shy of the 30. Good tackle by Mark Maddox, a 50-yard punt. 3 on the return, and the block credit to James Washington, the man who scored on the fumble return.
Oh, well, Gardner gets absolutely hammered. Oh, it's Ken Norton, 51, who makes the block. The linebacker, an all-pro middle linebacker down covering punts. How about that? Well, Gardner right on his keister. That's a major league hit for a Pro Bowl player. Gardner still feels the effects.
Gardner, a big man, too, a 244-pounder.
So far, the Buffalo defense put it itself well here. Again, they've got to stop Dallas, but they need a turnover.
1:20 left in the third period. 20-13 Dallas. Lincoln Coleman dragged down for a loss. Darryl Talley, despite a bad shoulder, makes the tackle.
Catches it from behind. You see they run a game. Bruce goes to the outside. Talley runs to the inside and catches that little delay from the back. Not supposed to be able to do that. Is there anything wrong with Emmitt Smith?
Well, Lincoln Coleman, who is a great story. We told you about him on Thanksgiving Day. Out of football, played semi-pro ball, played arena ball, and then had the big game in the ice storm on Thanksgiving. 2nd and 13. Aikman, well protected down the middle, off the fingertips of Novacek. He was open at the 45.
And I see with Emmitt Smith not in there and not the real threat to run the ball the way that Coleman does, they got to go back inside to the tight end. Buffalo can stay with the double zone, and now these guys they got to find another way to get the ball down the field until Emmitt gets back in the ball game. We understand that they're massaging his back on the sideline, but right now they need Emmitt Smith in there.
They stay with just Gerald Johnston, the lone setback, and go with the third wide receiver, Kevin Williams, on 3rd and long. Aikman dumps it incomplete to Novacek in traffic, and Bruce Smith was trailing the play. 3 and out for Dallas.
Well, you see how important Emmitt Smith is to this Dallas offense? Yeah. If he's healthy, they just run the ball, but they got to come with the tricky little stuff here.
Now, without him, they started 0-2 this year, losing to Washington, losing to Buffalo. And then Jerry Jones got out the wallet and the pen, signed up Emmitt, and Emmitt played right off the bat, and they beat Phoenix, and off they went. Russell Copeland back at the 30. Beautiful kick. Copeland looks for a block, and to the 31-yard line, 46-yard punt, 4 on the return. Elvis Patterson makes the tackle. A reminder.
Well, Bob, a reminder there of just how valuable Emmitt Smith is to the Cowboys.
And react a little bit better.
Yeah, the Bill defense has really stepped up. They've been playing great this second half, and back to the action.
He was in better position to catch it than was Reed.
Yeah, these defensive corners now of Dallas are starting to sit on these short patterns, Dick. They're reading the drop of the quarterback. Kelly's not going to have to try something deep here just to alleviate some of the pressure.
Emmett Davis continues at running back. Thurman Thomas on the sideline here in the second half. It's Davis. Gets a little hole and gains 4 to the 35. Jimmy Jones on the stop, and that probably the final play of the third quarter. A big quarter for Dallas, a bad quarter for Thurman Thomas. Thomas's fumble returned for a quick touchdown in the first minute of the third period to tie the score, and then Emmitt Smith took over. 20-13 Cowboys. Go. The Cowboys, the favorites by a touchdown. Thurman Thomas back in the game. 3rd down and 5. Intercepted. James Washington again. And Washington down at the 34-yard line.
Dick, you could see it coming. You could see it coming. Washington was just sitting back there hoping somebody would throw it his way. Here's Washington. Here's the primary receiver. He's reading Kelly's eyes. From the moment Jim Kelly sets up, he's looking back at Don Beebe. Washington reads it all the way and makes the pick.
Washington with a big game. James MacArthur, Washington. He wears 37 because Lester Hayes of the Raiders was his idol, and Kelly intercepted for the first time in 140 passes. And now Aikman starts at the 34 of the Bills. Flags are down. That'll be a false start, Dallas.
Dick, I do see Emmitt Smith back in the ball game for the Dallas Cowboys.
Before the snap, number 79 offense. 5 yards, first down.
James Washington was drafted by the Rams in '88, and then picked up. He was a teammate of Troy Aikman and Ken Norton with the Bruins. Helps the homeless in Los Angeles, has a shelter 37 after his number to help the homeless in his city.
He wouldn't have started tonight if the Dallas Cowboys hadn't gone with that 4-5 defense to try to defense the K-gun of Buffalo, and it worked.
1st and 15. It's Emmett. Look at him, just driving the tackler, Oliver Barnett. Barnett is 292 pounds. Smith is 209 pounds. You talk about leverage, getting low and driving. What leg strength.
Says he's not a slasher. He's more of a power runner. Always carries it in his left hand. Look, gets low, keeps driving those legs. And it's pretty remarkable that he wins the NFL rushing title in a matter of 14 games, not the usual 16 with that 2-game holdout.
He started slowly, but that's kind of his pattern. It was even last year in the Super Bowl. The second half is when you see the real Emmitt Smith. And 2nd down, Aikman. Out of the backfield, Smith runs right away from Patton. Breaks a tackle of Golic. And finally dropped by Jones close to a first down at the 24.
Dick, I think when this game is over, I'd like to watch this game again on replay, only to count the number of tackles that Emmitt Smith breaks. It happens again here. A nice little move, and then Patton misses him completely, but he runs through the arms of Golic. I mean, time and time again. We're not talking about a big bruising kid. We're talking about just solid rock inside that uniform.
So despite the false start on first down, Cowboys get 15 in 2 plays on the first down at the 24. Well, Emmitt Smith, this is a good place for the Smith clan, this Georgia Dome. The Peach Bowl is played here, and Clemson beat Kentucky in the Peach Bowl this last holiday, 14-13. The MVP for Clemson, Emory Smith.
Oh, no.
Brother.
Is that right? The Smiths like it here.
20-13. 13:35 left in the fourth quarter. Smith again. And he has nearly 5 to the 19 before Bruce Smith can make the stop. And it appears to be the Bills that are worn out, trying to stop Emmitt Smith, and Kelly pacing the sidelines, hoping the defense can hold and he can get back on the field. Cornelius Bennett shaken as he comes out.
We've had a steady stream of Buffalo Bill defenders to the sideline.
Mark Maddox replaces him.
Of course, that front line of the Dallas Cowboys, they'll beat you up, wear you out.
Great play action, and Aikman now run out of bounds by Jeff Wright. Goes out at the 22-yard line. That's a sack then for Wright, a 2-yard loss.
Troy Aikman made a very smart decision there. He kind of had somebody open. But in this situation, knowing that the turnover is probably the only thing that can get Buffalo back in the game, he just runs out of bounds. That's part of the maturing of Troy Aikman under Jimmy Johnson and also Norv Turner.
Jimmy Johnson, the only man to ever win a national collegiate championship as a player, as a coach, and then win the Super Bowl championship. 3 rings.
He has a boat with that name on it.
Timeout called by Troy Aikman with 12:20 to go, and Dallas leading by 7. Huge play for Buffalo, trailing by 7. Dallas 3rd down and 8.
It's
Aikman throwing wide open as Harper. Odoms gets him out of bounds at the 6. 1st and goal, Dallas.
Well, you take the chance up front to try to put pressure on Troy Aikman. The net result is you've got single coverage. You're going to see people coming from all over the place here to try to put pressure on Troy Aikman. But the other problem is you've got to cover somebody. And the lack of speed by the defensive backs of the Dallas Cowboys. Too much cushion by Nate Odoms. An easy completion for a 1st down. And it's 1st and goal, Dallas.
With 12 minutes to go. Moving way out to the right. Emmett Smith coming. And he gets a couple. Bruce Smith, Oliver Barnett making the stop in the center of the defense. And that big offensive line. We said speed on defense for Dallas. Huge lineman. Look at the average weight of that offensive line, 313. The defense of the Bills, 264. They just, well, it's like the Washington Redskins. It's a Joe Gibbs line, isn't it?
No question. But the difference is these guys are a little more active than Joe Gibbs' offensive line. All these big guys can move.
2nd and goal. Smith again. Stopped shy of the 1. Jeff Wright down around the ankles. Wright from Central Missouri State. And he's one of those smaller, more active defensive linemen going against a man 35 pounds heavier.
He thought playing on AstroTurf would help him because he'd have better footing. He complained that last year in the Rose Bowl, the big guys just shoved him all over the place and he couldn't keep his footing. Well, that offensive line has basically worn out the Buffalo defensive line.
Harper goes out. You can hear some of the fans with the chorus of Moose. They'd like to see Darrell Johnston get a touchdown. 3rd and goal outside the 1. Johnston in motion. It's Smith up the middle to the goal line. No signal yet. No, he's down right at the goal line. Talley and Henry Jones with a stop. 4th and goal. And Jimmy Johnson is going to go for it right here. Big play.
Excellent job by the Buffalo defense coming from the inside. When Emmitt Smith cuts back, looks like Darryl Talley, 56, makes the tackle. But now you've got big, now you've got bigger. Frank Cornish comes in at center. They move offensive linemen all over the place. You've got eligible receivers wearing lineman numbers. This is a huge offensive line now.
This is a 1-touchdown game if Buffalo stops. A 2-touchdown lead if Dallas succeeds. Smith, touchdown. The interception by James Washington, setting up the Emmitt Smith score on 4th down. And Smith now with 117 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns to lead Dallas. extra point. 27-13 Cowboys. Smith takes all those touchdown balls home back to the Pensacola, to the trading shop store. And with 9:50 to go, the pressure again on Buffalo. There they are. Two Imlach. Thurman Thomas fumbles, leading to 10, and the interception of Kelly on that 34-yard drive. Murray to Copeland inside the 5. Copeland drilled at the 23-yard line, but Bill Bates, the veteran from Tennessee who didn't play last year.
Watch the blocking here, Dick. Kogan down. 2-8 down. And the nice kickouts right here. It's really easy for Emmitt Smith to run this ball in. Excellent blocking out front. Good blocking down. That's the power play. And Kelly keeps saying, hey, no problem. We'll get it done. No problem. Okay.
James Washington, a big defensive star, a fumble return, 46 yards for a touchdown, and an interception to set up another. Kelly chased from behind. Down at the 30. Didn't like the fact that Washington went after him, but he didn't slide. You go head first, you're fair game.
Absolutely.
You're like anyone else.
You're a running back.
Gain of 7 for Kelly.
That's the 4th time they've run that shovel pass. It worked a little bit in the first half, Dick, but I mean, they're down by 14 points here. We got to get the ball in the air no matter what can happen. That's not going to accomplish anything.
3rd down and less than 2, but closer to 2 than a yard. Kelly will scramble, and now the slide, and the 1st down at the 35-yard line. Ken Norton there for Dallas. Clock now becomes a factor with 8:22 and running. With Buffalo down by 2 scores, they need a quick touchdown and need another possession and hope that they can stop Dallas. 1st down was very kind to Marv Levy's play calling in the 1st half, not so here in the 2nd. Kelly to the sidelines. Brooks. 2 Cowboys there to deny him any yardage. Kevin Smith and James Washington, and that Washington is everywhere.
Yeah.
He had an interception last year in the Super Bowl.
The Dallas defense now is in the frame of mind that they want. This is where Dallas's defense is probably at its best. They have those great pass rushers up front. They also have excellent speeds, closing speed in their cornerbacks and safeties.
Thomas. Jimmy Jones invades the backfield and makes the tackle. Jones, who played at Miami of Florida with Cortez Kennedy and Russell, Maryland, after Jerome Brown graduated. Boy, what a group of inside talent they had there, recruited by Jimmy Johnson.
For this game, Jimmy Johnson made sure he had 5 defensive tackles activated for this K-gun so that no one would get worn out.
Loss of a yard. It's 3rd and 10. Uh-oh, down goes Kelly. Jones with a sack.
Jones gets him. Jeffcoat was about to. Jones comes from the right. Look at Jeffcoat right at his feet. Ran right over John Fina. And now these guys are in their track meet mode. Watch the football, get upfield, and make the sack.
Very high, but also very short by Moore. Does not take a Buffalo bounce, and Dallas gets the ball near midfield. Carwell Gardner grounds it at the 49. Timeout. Wins for the NFC champion. Thurman Thomas have a tough time digesting what has happened to him today. 2 crucial fumbles that have led to 10 points. 1 on a fumble recovery, 46-yard run. Kelly with an interception. No yard, 20 yards total passing in the 2nd half. And now Aikman, sitting on a 2-touchdown lead, gives it to the man, Emmitt Smith. He's to the 46-yard line.
Pick from overhead here in the Georgia Dome. He's going to run right. Lead block by Harold Johnston. Good job by Novacek. Eric Williams, 79. Yeah, when you got that guy in the backfield, that guy is a gem. That guy is he is the lead horse. He's the lead dog. He is the epicenter of this football team.
Does not fumble. 340 touches this year. 1 fumble. Second down, 5. Oliver Barnett and Darryl Talley the tackle, shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and a long 2.
Look at the offensive lineman helping him up. This guy, it's seldom you find a player of his magnitude so universally liked on the football team. He and Michael Irvin always have smiles on their faces, but he is the center of this football team. I think Jerry Jones found that out at the beginning of the season.
The spirit of the team, because it wasn't just his physical contribution. When we saw that second game in Buffalo beat Dallas, the players were missing Emmett's spirit. He is such a terrific guy in the locker room as well. Play action by Aikman. To the tight end, Novacek, and another first down. 39, not too greedy, just get enough. Tackle made by Matt Darby, and it was Darby who made the interception in Dallas on the final play of the game that gave Buffalo the win, 13-10.
This is a little bootleg by Troy Aikman. Well done. Looks like Darby bangs his head here. He's very slow getting up. He is back up, but didn't like the head. The hit there. Marv Levy staring at 4 straight Super Bowl losses.
No team in the history of American team sports, professional sports, has gone to the championship of its sport, World Series, National Hockey League, NBA, NFL, and lost 4 straight times. Never. And we're 5 minutes away from Buffalo having that ignominious honor.
I think set in on the Buffalo sideline that this is a part of history they did not want their name attached to.
Second down and 7. Dale Hellestrae is now at center for Dallas. And Aikman apparently wants a timeout, but won't call time until he uses as much off the clock as he can. 4:17 to go. James William Johnson, age 50. And a lot of people around football, just not knowing him from the outside, perhaps don't like him, and even some coaches say he'll get his someday. He's brash, he's cocky, but he's also very good. And he has plans. He's got one of his Corvettes parked at the hotel here in Atlanta, and there's the 3 rings in the Biscayne Harbor. That's where he's headed after the game. 3 rings standing for his ring for the National Collegiate Championship as a player on the '64 Arkansas team that went 11-0 under Frank Broyles. His ring from the University of Miami as the National Collegiate Champions as a coach, and his ring from last year. And we asked, well, wait a minute, if you win, that's 4 rings. You're going to get out the paint? He said, no, I'm just celebrating the fact that he didn't have to tell us. He's the only man who's ever done that.
Yes, how dare us wonder why only 3 rings. But you would figure he'd buy a boat. You're in complete control, and you're the captain of your own boat. Complete control.
2nd and 7. Aikman looking for a big one. Goes to Irvin. And he was a step shy. Checked just enough by Mickey Washington that he couldn't get there. Mark Kelso came over from his deep safety spot as well.
He almost ran right through Mickey Washington. So he's just going to push him out of his way. This is one of the strongest receivers you'll find in the NFL.
Well, what a draft that was in '88. He was the 3rd wide receiver pick behind Sterling Sharp and Tim Brown. The first 11 players, Sharp, Brown, and Irvin.
Well, I don't think any one of the teams has gone wrong with any one of those 3, but Irvin may emerge as the best.
3rd down and long for Aikman. Lots of time down the field. He goes to Harper. Harper to the 1. Odoms got a piece of him, and Kelso And one has to wonder, Kelso plays so deep, it's almost as if you're playing against a 10-man defense.
Well, this was a double zone. Kelso is supposed to be over there and help on the coverage. Odoms has him underneath. The free safety. Oh, nice hesitation by Harper. Then the acceleration. This, again, is a problem for the Buffalo defense. They don't have the speed. Kelso there to make the hit, but not there for the coverage.
And here you have Odoms, a Pro Bowler who tied Eugene Robinson for interceptions with 9. Never even got a chance to look for the ball.
Not at all.
And Aikman lets it run down. 3:23 on the clock. 4 shots from the 1-yard line to take a 3-touchdown lead. That's the last Dallas timeout.
Well, do we talk dynasty here for the Dallas Cowboys?
It's a young team. The frightening aspect for the rest of the NFL clubs. This is not an aging team. Buffalo, perhaps, this is the end of the dynasty 4 in a row, although many said that last year. They have some age. But Dallas is one of the youngest teams in the NFL. That man's only 24. Well, tonight after the Super Bowl, NBC showing 2 of the hottest comedies to keep your Super Bowl party going.
Well,
First,
Bob,
John Cavanagh.
the Cowboys about to ice this one going in, and really you've got to hand it to them. They made the halftime adjustments, the Bills didn't.
Exactly it. I mean, we looked at that first half, and it was an incredibly even game. We saw nobody really standing out. As a matter of fact, the one guy that may have been the only one really rolling was Jim Kelly. He came out cold. Thurman didn't even come back. They tried Kenneth Davis, and that didn't even seem to work.
Yeah, it didn't. Buffalo played close for a long time, but the Cowboys are just too strong. They have a lot of talent.
Okay, here are the Cowboys. They're on the 1. Are they going to add to the touchdown? Let's see.
Nope, they don't get it off.